Hello Framingham and welcome to Flyer News. I'm Ben Wider.
And I'm Julie Carson. Coming up today, we'll be giving you an update on East Coast weather and news of virus outbreak in the Americas.
To close out the show, we have news regarding the money stolen from the boys' locker room and another episode of Sports Update.
All that and more today on Flyer News.
The weather has been surprisingly nice this past week.
Ben, I was driving by the other day and I actually saw you outside missing an abundance of jump shots.
The weather gets warm, my shot gets cold. Ups and downs, it's part of life. Thankfully, Lacey remains a consistent source of information with her segment Weather Watch.
Lacey was correct in predicting the weather will warm up this week, so hopefully she will provide some accurate insight for the upcoming week as well.
You're up, Lacey.
Good morning, FHS. So as you can see, we've got some calm winds this morning as well as some fog. We have mild visibility outside, and if you stay outside during the day, you'll also notice that we have temperatures above freezing today. As you can see, we have Friday here with a high of 39 and a low of 27. We have an ocean storm to the east of us and a cold front to the west of us, bringing precipitation tomorrow on, nope, not tomorrow, just kidding. On Monday, we have stormy weather because we have a cold front meeting up with mild air pressure. So overall, we have a pretty quiet week with some precipitation here and there. Later today, we do have some mild snow showers, so you can expect some slushiness on the ground. But otherwise, wear a light jacket and expect some precipitation, but not much. And that's it for me. This has been Weather Watch with Lacey Edwards. Let's take it back to the desk.
Thanks, Lacey. Hopefully things will continue to improve here locally. Recently, there's been news of a virus outbreak. Elena has been gathering information and has formulated a report for us on the subject.
The World Health Organization rang a global alarm over the Zika virus on Thursday, saying that the disease was, quote, spreading explosively in the Americas and that as many as 4 million people could be infected by the end of the year. The Global Health Agency will convene a special meeting on Monday to decide whether to declare a public health emergency. It is moving swiftly to combat this outbreak after widespread criticism that it had allowed the last major global health crisis, Ebola, to fester without a coordinated, effective strategy. Since last spring, more than 20 countries have reported locally acquired cases of Zika, which is transmitted by mosquitoes and may cause birth defects. The level of alarm is extremely high, said Dr. Margaret Chan, the Director General of the WHO, in a speech in Geneva. The focus of concern is the growing number of cases of microcephaly, a rare condition in which infants are born with abnormally small heads and damaged brains. Reports of babies born with microcephaly have been rising sharply in Brazil as Zika spreads. Experts say it is too early to tell whether Zika is the cause of the condition, but there are indications that the two are linked. The government of El Salvador has gone as far as to advise women to refrain from becoming pregnant until 2018. Even as international health authorities sounded strong warnings, health officials in the United States sought to reassure Americans, saying that the vast majority of those exposed to the virus never have symptoms and that the risk of a homegrown outbreak is very low, largely because of more effective mosquito control. For the average American who is not traveling to this area, there is nothing they need to worry about, said Dr. Ann Touchat, Principal Deputy Director of the Federal Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Still, health officials in the region and internationally say it is urgent to stop the virus now. Zika's rapid rise and the specter of associated birth defects have major repercussions in a warm region with struggling economies and vast flows of tourists, all ingredients for further spread of the virus. Brazil is preparing to host the Olympics this summer, and Zika has cast a long shadow over those plans. The CDC has advised pregnant Americans to avoid travel to the region. Flyer News will keep you updated as the Zika virus progresses, but for now, this has been Elena Jacob reporting for Flyer News. We'll send it back up to the desk.
Thanks, Elena. Flyer News will continue to keep you updated on the virus at hand and any other outbreaks that appear to occur. In other news, the female driver of a car that struck a Framingham school bus yesterday afternoon, sending 10 students to the hospital with minor injuries, will be cited, said Framingham Police Lieutenant Stephen Cronin. Lieutenant Cronin said that the driver will be cited for failure to yield to a school bus. The Framingham woman driver was coming out of Linman Road, making a left turn when she crashed into the school bus on Edgell Road. The school bus was carrying 31 elementary students from Dunning and Hemingway elementary schools at the time. The driver's name has not yet been released, and she was transported to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. More than half a dozen ambulances, along with Framingham Fire and Framingham Police, responded to the scene. Framingham Police are still investigating the crash, and Fly News will continue to keep you updated with more details.
Yesterday marked 30 years since the tragic explosion of the space shuttle, the Challenger. On the Challenger, 7 astronauts died, including Framingham's very own Krista McAuliffe, who was to be the first teacher in space. On this 30th anniversary, Bob Elbing identified himself as the engineer along with 4 others who had tried to stop the space launch but were overruled by NASA. The night before the explosion, Elbing told his wife, "It's going to blow up." When the Challenger exploded 73 seconds after liftoff, Elbing and other engineers knew exactly what had happened. The data they had discovered pre-launch showed that the rubber seals on the shuttle's booster rockets wouldn't seal properly in the cold, and this was to be the coldest launch ever. Elbing told NPR that if they had listened to me and waited for weather change, it might have been a completely different outcome. On another note, money was recently stolen from the boys' locker room here at our very own Framingham High School. Lacey and Chad have done some investigating and are ready to share their findings with us now.
This past Tuesday, boys in the FHS locker room discovered that large amounts of money had been stolen from their lockers, which were either broken into or left unlocked. There is one student suspected of the theft. However, little evidence has been presented. We sat down with Coach Doherty to find more on the story.
A student came to me and said that they lost a significant amount of money, somewhere between $100 and $200. It happened after school. He went in to use the wellness center, and then he came out, and it was gone. I've been here a long time, and it seems like every year it's happened at least once. Students that have anything valuable, you really need to lock it up after school. A lot of kids go in the locker room after school. They think that when they close the locker that it's fine, and it's not. You really need to have a lock if you're going to have anything valuable, and if you can avoid bringing something valuable, obviously you're not going to be losing it.
Well, now you know, FHS. Lock it or you just might lose it. This has been Lacey Edwards reporting for Flyer News. Let's take it back to the desk.
Framingham winter athletics have been in full swing, with many teams performing at a varying level. To report on all athletic news here at Framingham High, we have Patrick Cassidy and Alex Lembrino with their veteran segment, Sports Update.
Hello. Hi. Do you want to go to a party with me? No. The game's on. Oh, I almost forgot. I'll be right there.
We like sports and we don't care who knows. From shooting hoops to the Super Bowl. We like sports and we don't care who knows. Football, tennis, hockey, golf.
Good morning, Framingham High School. I'm Patrick Cassidy.
And I'm Alex Lembrino, and welcome back to another episode of Sports Update.
It's going to be a quick one this week. We're only going to talk about ski team and basketball.
I know you guys saw us yesterday morning, and you're probably sick of us right now, but we got a quick episode, so let's just get right into it.
The Framingham High School Alpine ski team is currently in their 3rd season. The MIAA recognizes the team as a varsity sport, but Framingham High School has yet to do that. The team is currently battling on the topic with the school board.
Similar to other varsity players, the Alpine skiers are currently paying the $225 fee if they still fail to be recognized as a varsity sport. And back in 2013, they only had 11 players, and now they've doubled that.
Big game against Newton North next Friday. I expect everyone to be there because they are ready. Yeah, they're there. They're ready.
Hey, Mr. Marshall, what's up?
Hey, not much, Alex. How are you doing?
I'm doing swell. How about yourself?
Living the dream, bro.
So next Friday, boys basketball is playing Newton North. Got any big plans for that Friday?
Well, I did, but it sounds like I'm going to have to show up so I can see the Flyers tame the Tigers. I mean, what else are we going to do that night? Because where I come from, ball is life.
Next Friday, February 5th, 6:30 p.m., Framingham High School versus Newton North. Be there.
Newton North is 10-1, Flyers are 7-6, and it's obviously going to be a great game. It's going to be a tough one for the Flyers, but I believe they can do it. So just come out and support.
Red, white, blue, basketball. You make the choice.
Well, in case you haven't picked up on the very subtle hint we have placed during this episode, I want to see everyone next Friday in the front gym wearing red, white, and blue for our USA theme name against Newton North.
That's right. Bring a flag. Paint your face. Paint your dog if you want. Bring your dog. Actually, it's recommended you bring your dog. I'm not sure if the gym accommodates them, but we can sneak them or something.
Yeah, I don't know. But I mean, wrapping up today's episode, this has been Sports Update. I'm Patrick Cassidy.
And I'm Maxine Bruno.
And I hope to see all of you USA-themed dogs next Friday in the front gym, 6:30. Be there.
Thanks, guys. Now it's time for us to pledge the flag.
In studio today, we have Johnny Llewellyn to lead the pledge.
You're up, Johnny.
Oh, beautiful, vast, spacious skies, far amber waves of grain. I'm talking about America, sweet.
Please stand for the pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Have no place to go. Have no place to go. Darling, have no place to go. Have no place to go.
Good morning, FHS. Today is Friday, January 29th, at day 5 with periods running BDCGF. Boys varsity basketball has a game at Needham at 6:30. Girls varsity basketball has a home game against Needham at 6:45. And girls varsity gymnastics have a home game against Braintree at 7. That's it for me. More announcements.
Hi everyone, so there are spring musical auditions, Legally Blonde, next Friday. They are open to anyone and everyone, and it is after school.
If you want the audition information, you can email fhsdramacompany@gmail.com. And also, we're looking for cheerleaders for for a specific number in the show, and you don't have to audition if you're a cheerleader. You just have to contact fhsdramacompany@gmail.com.
For any returning JV and boys soccer players, we have workouts in the Wellness Center today at 2:30 with Mr. Basanti. Come on down. We'd like to see new faces. Go Flyers.
Also, guys, the library won't be open Monday or Tuesday because of testing, and please pick up your report cards in homeroom. Mrs. Torbert couldn't make it down, so it's period B.
We've had a very full show today covering the local weather to teaching sign language.
If you want to watch our show again, you can catch us back at 5 or 8 o'clock on 8 Comcast, 15 RTN, or 41 Verizon Fios on the Framingham Education Channel.
I'm Julie Carson.
And I'm Ben Weiner. Take it easy, FHS.